Welcome everyone. We will be talking about non-interference. This is one big factor in our human life. It does a lot of good, lot of benefit to us. So what we will see is that what it means and why we should be talking about it, why we should be working on this. So first of all, why non-interference? Why should we even talking about it? Now, we talked about detachment in the previous session, and we talked about that detachment does not mean we became kind of indifferent, kind of inhuman towards others. It's a question of how we can continue progress in our journey. One may call enlightenment, moksha, whichever way you may want to interpret it is. But the point is, you are increasing the frequency of your body, of your soul, what we call consciousness. As we increase the frequency means the energy, we go higher and higher. From our soul, which is nothing but a bundle of energy, it is all about purifying our energy and moving forward. There is nothing wrong in the physical world to think about some materialistic gain. Absolutely nothing wrong if you think about, having a new house, new car, new assets, whichever way you want to invest, that's all okay. But for the soul, all what matters is your consciousness level, which is nothing but your energy. So non-interference goes hand in hand with detachment. That means you are still attached to the human relations that we have all around. However, you are still detached. And that's what we talked last time. Non-interference comes as a part of it, very close to this topic. And the key point here is we should not interfere in others' life. Now, it sounds very simple. We should not interfere. What does it mean? First of all, it also means that we should not allow others to interfere in our life. So it's both ways, right? It's a two-way traffic. It's not that my life is bombarded by others, wish, command, and directions, guidelines, anything you may call it, but I'm not supposed to interfere in others. It's both ways. That means we should not interfere and we should not allow other also. Now, at certain age, you know certain things. As you grow older, your experience, your wisdom increases. And yes, it is possible that we know something more than a person who's much younger than us, right? Suppose your child. So you know a lot more, you have seen a lot more, you have experienced a lot more than your child, but that does not mean we can go and interfere in my child's life totally. Everything we are telling the child, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that kind of thing. And the primary reason for that, if you recall, we talked about soul plan. So we have no idea about the other person's soul's plan. What is the purpose of life? If the other soul had planned all this in the life to learn something, which as a human we say, oh my God, the person is suffering. It's no suffering for the soul. Soul planned it for some learning. Again, a step back as we talked about karmas, which is balancing of karma, which is one major topic within the karma topic. And balancing means you have to experience both. At one time, I'm experiencing lack. The other time, I'm experiencing abundance. At one time, I'm experiencing that I'm sick, someone is taking care of me. Other side, someone else is sick and I'm taking care of the person. Now, both may happen within one lifetime or they may happen in two different lifetimes. Doesn't matter. But this balancing require both experiences to be completed. Now, not only the experience must complete, you must learn out of it. Otherwise, that experience does not count. For example, I may have abundance, right? I may have lots of wealth. and I'm donating, which is a good thing. However, I have ego, I have proud, all kind of negative energy when I'm donating or sharing that money. I'm looking down at the people that, I have so much and I'm giving it to you. Now, that does not qualify as learning because of the negativity, because of all those factors that I'm associated with while sharing or donating my wealth. So learning means with gratitude, fulfillment, compassion, all those positive human values. I'm sharing with others, but not looking down at them, just thanking the universe that, okay, you gave me this much wealth, and I'm now experiencing how it feels, how good it feels when I'm sharing it with others. Then I'm learning, I'm experiencing those emotions because primary learning comes from emotions. But for emotions, you have to experience, you have to act, you have to do something for feelings to generate, and feeling generates emotions. So that's how it goes. So if we do not know somebody's soul plan, purpose of life, we don't know why the person may have planned this specific thing in the life. We may call it suffering, but for the other person, it is a plan. Most of us don't know even our own soul plan, our own purpose of life. And these topics are not taught from schools or university or in general. So lots and lots of people have no idea about it. And if you don't know, then obviously you will not think about it in those terms. So nothing wrong with you if you are not aware. But this is the background. So the moment we are aware of it, this is the first thing we have to keep it in mind. Because when we don't know how to interpret, how to decode, how to find out my own soul plan, I really don't know how to define the purpose of life, then how can I know or understand someone else's soul plan? Again, so that's why first step in improving my energy, my consciousness is awareness, knowledge, wisdom. So the first thing is we listen to concept, we understand a concept, and then we increase our knowledge or wisdom. And once you know, okay, this is the concept, this is soul plan, purpose of life, and I have, and you know specifically what do you have as your soul plan or purpose of life, then you should also understand that others too have their own purpose of life. And if I understand this simple thing that I have and others have, and that's how they have planned their life, so one should not interfere. Because it is their plan. Now, out of good emotion, out of good, heart, we feel worried. We feel anxious about, oh, my parents, they are old. I'm in different city, different country, different continent, whatever. I'm far away, and I'm telling them what to do. This is how you should live. This is how you should eat. This is how you should interact because I'm worried about their health. But this worry, all those things does not help. We interfere because this technically is interference. Now, why we do this? I have a lot of emotions and I'm doing it. So I'm doing it for my own sake. I'm doing it because of society's pressure, peer pressure kind of thing. You go to work, your colleagues, your neighbors, your friends or relatives, and they say, oh, I've heard your mom or your dad or your kids. And then all of a sudden we start thinking that, yes, someone else is doing this for the parent. I should do it too. Or I should be always with my parents at this age. All those things, and same thing happens with kids. Same thing happens with all around. And what we end up doing is over worrying, over worrying, over worrying. That means we are trying unintentionally, but to interfere in other business. Doesn't matter how close the person is to us. So we are doing what we see as a norm in the society. We are just following the trend. And because everyone else is doing, how can I not do? I see everyone around telling their kids which subject, which university, which course to choose, which career to choose, and I'm also trying to do the same. It may seem right to you. It may seem materialistically correct. If you tell your child, this career is more beneficial, this has more money in it, more rewards, go for this. So it doesn't matter if the person like or dislike that particular career, that topic, that course, but we are forcing the person. Why? Because of some materialistic gain. Why? Because that is the trend in the society, or what you see as most beneficial based on your thinking. And we don't know the other person thinking or other person's plan. Now, the other person may not know himself or herself also. So what's important is you should decide what you want to put first, money or happiness. Mostly we put happiness separate, but we go for money first. We define the success or failure based on money. Somebody has a lot of money, we say this person is successful. Somebody has less money, lack, we say, oh, poor fellow. Look at this person, he's suffering. Celebrities we look up to, they are successful. Why? Success is defined by money. Success is defined by the title a person is holding in the business, in the company, whatever. As an employee or owner, doesn't matter. So how you define, how society define is one thing, but the soul plan is different. A person may have defined or planned their life in a way that they will have a lot of failures in the life, professionally. It could be relationship wise, it could be career, it could be whatever. If that is their soul plan, so be it. So if we put happiness first, question is happiness based on which criteria, based on which rule, which guideline, which whose perception? Is it my perception or the other person's perception? Are we saying, oh, this is the right thing to do because you know what? When I was a child, I always wanted to be a musician. So I'm telling my child that you should become a musician. If in my childhood I wanted to be good in sports, then I'm forcing my child to go in sports. Why? Because I could not fulfill that wish of mine. So I'm trying to get my kids fulfill it for me. Then I'll be very happy. But the issue here is we are forcing someone else, even if he's your child, doesn't matter, to fulfill your wish. No, if it is your wish, you do it. Doesn't matter the age. But don't force your child to do something for you so that you could be happy. So happiness has to be defined by the person, not by others. Because if we are forcing itself is not correct. Even if you know the concept of soul plan very well, you help the other person to decode the soul plan. Your child, your parents, your relatives, colleague, doesn't matter who. You said, okay, right thing is know your soul plan, follow it. Absolutely the right thing. That's what we are saying. But then we don't know the maturity level of the soul. You know, every soul plans, but doesn't necessarily mean that that achievement, that success or fulfillment of the plan will happen within this lifetime. It could take 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. Because as a concept, from mineral world to plant kingdom to animal kingdom, then the human kingdom, as a concept, we take more than 400 lives. So it is not that in one lifetime we have to learn everything. So if the soul is not mature, and there are various levels, you know, it could be an infant soul, it could be a baby soul. When the soul is not ready, soul, even if is aware of the soul plan, may not be able to fulfill that, may not be ready to fulfill that. So in this lifetime, the purpose of the soul may be just to have some experience how it feels. How can I handle the emotion or not? Humans' emotion is tough thing to handle. So sometimes soul will just come and touch it and have a feel of it. and then decide next time that, okay, how far do I want to go? So we don't know the soul's maturity level. Then how can we force someone that no, must follow your soul plan? Guideline, okay, but then leave it. Leave it at that point. Do not force. And if the soul has planned that, okay, I will go through this experience, which as a human we can call suffering, but for the soul, it is just an experience. Soul plan that I will have this condition. It could be a physical issue, it could be mental issue, it could be, psychosomatic, it could be emotional issue that the person is going through because it was planned. A person could stay healthy whole life. In this life, the person may be experiencing the other side, which is health, which means abundance of health. So you don't know what is the level of maturity and what is the plan. So now the question comes, how can we stop interference? So far we saw what is interference, why it is not good to interfere, soul plan, all those concepts, but still, as a natural reaction, as a normal human being, we all tend to interfere out of pure love, out of our worry or concern, doesn't matter what. That, oh, child is so young, I have to tell what to do, or parents are so old, I have to do for them. They don't know or they cannot decide, even for the right reason that, oh, they don't want to spend anything on them, and they are just saving or leaving it for others, but they need to spend, they need, say, whether it's medical help or some other help. So how to work with this urge of interfering? So one thing is be aware, first thing. And that's what we are doing right now. Awareness, just knowledge, wisdom. Control your urge that no, I'm the one who will tell my parents what to do. Or I have to tell my kids, this is my duty as a parent. Otherwise, I'm not a good parent. All those things we convince ourselves. And without being asked, we try to advise everyone. We don't know what's going on in their mind, but we are advising people. Oh, I'm telling you, you should do this, or I'm telling you, take this course, or, pick this sports, or pick this career, all kinds of things. You may know the details of some specific career. You may know details of a particular sport better than others. But that doesn't mean we start interfering and telling everyone that, yeah, I know what to do. And one good thing in developing that habit of how to stop interference is, stay away from gossip. Gossips generally, it's not an advisory session. It is kind of unsolicited. It is kind of just, you know, typically you are talking, you're wasting your energy on something which gives you a pleasure as a human form, right? And we keep telling others how good I am in terms of knowledge or whatever, and you're just putting the other person away or other situation, whatever that case may be. So gossip does not help. As a human being, it's very common people to enjoy gossip, but whether you're talking about a person, country, some organization, or whatever it is, we are wasting our energy. Gossip comes under negative energy, and any negative energy cannot give you positive result. So unsolicited, first of all, stay away. You don't know what's going on in their mind, what the plan is, what they are trying to do. A person could be very shy, not able to express that this is what I want, and it is so common. Souls, we talked about the first three chakras, how they struggle to come out of the first three. And common elements in the first three is lack of self-respect, lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. And of course, the other negative factors like greed, lust, shame, guilt, trauma, they go through all those things, makes you spend your whole life primarily in the first three chakras. The moment the soul is able to go to fourth, now rather than energy centers of consumption, the energy goes in the healing mode. The moment it goes from fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So stay away from gossip. That's never doing good to anyone. Still, if you have the urge that no, 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 I have to tell others what to do, I am the wise man. Think about how would you feel if someone else comes and tells you all the time what to do. Trust me, nobody likes that. We love to tell others what to do, but not to listen from others what to do. If a person quietly listens all the time, then the person has to again review what we were just talking about, the self-esteem, self-respect, confidence, courage. Am I good in communication? Can I defend myself or not? Because these are all negative. Situation means you are lacking. You are in the first three chakras. Anybody can come and tell me anything and I cannot defend myself. I want to go out and play, but I've been told, no, sit here and study. My heart says I want to go out, but I've been ordered, no, stay here, sit in your room and just study. I want to go and play music, but I've been told, no, join this sport. Why? Because I always wanted to play this sport. I couldn't do it. You should do it. All those are interferences. So imagine if someone would have told you what to do, someone would have told you totally opposite things that you have picked up. Or if you have picked up whatever you have in life because of someone else telling you, whether it's career or other things, and now you're frustrated and you want to kind of do the same to others, knowingly or unknowingly, doesn't matter. Because every time when you were young, you were told what to do, and now this has become your habit. You are telling others what to do. Think again. Think that if it has really worked in your life or not. If the answer is no, you were always told what to do and you made some choices which you never wanted to. If it did not work in your case, why are you advising others what to do? Yes, if people come to you and ask for advice, give the information and stop there. Don't force them to follow it. Only exception in terms of, again, the degree of this comes if you know it is safety related. If you know someone is really taking some action which could be really dangerous for the person or society in general, that's different thing. Again, you cannot make the person do anything, but you may take appropriate action for that. Because sometimes the person may not be in a physical or mental or emotional condition where person even know what the person is doing. Of course, in those very specific scenarios, you, again, not in terms of interfering, but in terms of, again, safeguarding, and then let the person and let the life decide which way it wants to go. Because in a soul plan, there is no restriction. Person can have planned anything. So rather than saying everything in every situation is a good reason for you to interfere in others' life, masters, stay away. It will help you and help the other soul, both. You stay detached. However, you are still attached in a family setting. We are not saying leave everyone and, stay like or live like a monk. No, still in the family setting. However, you are giving everybody, like we say, give them space. Let them be who they are. So you are giving them, you're sharing your wisdom, which is the right thing to do, and stopping there. Sharing does not mean telling them what to do. You are sharing your knowledge. You are making their awareness grow, their knowledge grow, and hence their kind of consciousness grow, and allow them to follow their own path. So this was non-interference, what it is, and how to go about it, how to practice non-interference.